Hey everyone, how's it going? I know it's been a while since I last made a video, but I haven't really gotten any cards that I felt it was worth making an entire video for. Over the last few months, I've kind of not been really doing much with my card collecting. The holidays were in there, but I did do a submission back in during the holidays. I think it was like a vintage special through PSA, and I'm not sure how I should break this down. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is we'll show part of the submission now, but part of it not now. The reason being that this stack here, this tall one, are all 1954 Topps hockey, and I'm currently working on completing that set. It's only a 60 card set. I need 2 cards for the set, and I intend to get the entire 60 card set graded at some point. So I was figuring that once I collect the whole set, I'll make a video just for that set. But I'll show a couple out of it, and I believe that one of them ended up in here because I did not see it in that stack. I haven't looked at the grades themselves yet. This is a blind reveal. I just looked at the back of the cards to separate out all the 54s from the rest of the submission. But we'll definitely have a look. One of the ones that I think is in here is the Ted Lindsay, unfortunately, which, I mean, that card definitely is a pricier one from that set. It's not the How, but it's still quite a it's a card that I'm going to have to replace one way or the other if there's something wrong with it. So let's without further ado, let's check out and see what is in here. So yep, there's the Ted Lindsay, and it says min size 0. So I don't know if they just found that it wasn't some kind of, oh, that's on the other side. There's some kind of issue with it, with the sizing on it. It may be something with the grader that could be resubmitted. I'll have a look at it with I'll measure it up against other cards and see what's wrong with that. But that's quite a letdown because this was a nice card. Other card was Frank Mahavlich, which recolored, which I've had a couple of these now, and I don't think they're from the same seller that have been recolored, but I'll have to have a look at that one and see where they're saying it. Usually it's like they'll add brown on the sides of it. Sorry, just having a look. You can usually see it bleeding through on the edge of the card, but I do not see any signs of recoloring on the edge, and it's probably hard to see on this, but the sides all look white, and I'll have to look at that through a magnifying glass, but I'm not seeing any evidence of recoloring. I had another one, the Bellevue from that same set, where I did see the brown like marker. You could see it bleeding through on the side, which that was kind of let down as well, but we'll have a look at that one closer later. But anyway, that's the bad news. Let's get to the cards. I'll show you a couple of these 54s, the Sawchuk and the Del Vecchio. Kind of this set I feel like is kind of a set for Red Wings fans, but let's see how the Sawchuk did. Now this is an expensive card. It's probably one of my worst conditioned cards of the set. But let's see what I had pre-graded it as. What card number is it? 58. So I had guessed it, estimated grade was a 2. And the reason being was that it has kind of a discoloration, kind of a staining down there. And then there's kind of a bluish, almost stain type thing on the side. But the corners and everything. I thought a 2 would be fair on that card. We'll see how it does. And the 54 Sawchuk gets a 2.5. So that's not bad, and I think that's a fair grade for that card. Let's check the Del Vecchio, who's another one of my favorite classic 50s and 60s Red Wing. This one I had graded as, sorry, card number was 39. I got about half the set graded this time around. I'll get the rest done later. I pre-graded this one as a 2 as well, but I'm not sure why. I think I was also trying to be in line with the current really strict grading, which I think, looking at this, I'm not sure why, but for some reason I thought it was a 2. Probably the edge wear and whatnot, but let's see how it did. Got a 3.5, which that works. I'll take it. Okay, that's enough for the 54s. I'm not going to go through the whole stack because, like I said, I'll give them their own video once I've collected the set, but that's a preview. So let's get into the rest of them. And this is the Ted Lindsay. I forget what year is this. I'm so bad with these old Parkhurst. 54, that's right. So 54 Ted Lindsay. This one I pre-graded as a 1. It's got pretty rough rounded corners, but I kind of just wanted to get it into a case. It's just a nice Ted Lindsay card. It doesn't have any creases or anything, just loved corners and whatnot, but we'll see how it does. Gets a 1.5 FR. What is FR? Or fair. That's fair, that's not a designation, it's fair. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever gotten in 1.5 before. But okay, we'll go with it. I guess since we're doing hockey, let's keep going. Here is the 68 Jean Beliveau. This one I had pre-graded as, I thought it had pretty decent centering for a 68. These 68s really have, sorry, there's a lot of paper noise. 68s really have a lot of off-center cards, and this one just looked sharp. I'm after previous gradings where I just got obliterated on lower, they were like 2 grades down. I think I lowered everything by 2 grades, and I went with a 3 for this one, hoping that I normally probably would have said a 5, but just with how strict PSA has been, I've been kind of lowering my standards and expectations. So let's see if we get the 3 on him. And he gets a 5. Okay, so I guess I was kind of right. So maybe this is a grader that's kind of more attuned to how things were before. Here's the 66 Del Vecchio. I love the 66 top set. It's one I would love to collect as well, but that Bobby Orr, I don't know how I'll ever get that unless it's like a really nasty one, but this is a nice card. It is I pre-graded this one as a 3 as well. It's got pretty decent centering. The one bottom left corner's a little white on there, but let's see how he does. And he gets the 3.5. So I think this grader so far, just going off of the first 4 cards, is pretty fair. We'll see. I may change my mind on that. Here we go. This is the 1967 Topps Willie Mays. That one I had pre-graded as a 3, mainly because of centering issues. The top up-down centering is a little bit off, left-right as well. I think it's a little bit over to the left, but not as much as the up-down. Corners, there's some fuzz, especially on the top left corner. But still just a nice looking card. And I feel like Willie Mays' prices have been going down, so been able to snag some of his cards for a lot cheaper than a year ago or so. So anyway, I pre-graded this as a 3. Let's see how he does. And he gets a 4. So far, we are exceeding all of our expectations. This is a really tough set, and this one has really got some centering issues. Not sure why I sent it in, but anyway, here's a Pete Rose from 1971 Topps. He's got some left, right, and up-down centering issues, but otherwise he's got decent corners. I think there's some edge wear on the right side, but it's still a nice card. I had guessed him at a 2. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have sent this in, but... And he gets a 4. Wow, okay. So this grader is really kind of surprising me. I was not expecting to get grades that high on some of these cards. Not that a 4 is great, but here's a Nolan Ryan. Picked this one up when I was visiting my mom in Michigan at a card show in Livonia, Michigan last fall. I forget what I paid for it, but I had pre-graded it at a 3. And you know, this is a card that in general is hard to get nice copies of. Or they grade this card pretty tough, so with a 3, hopefully we'll get a 3 on it. We'll see how it does, but it's still a nice card. Left right centering issues, up down centering issues, but otherwise in decent shape. And it gets a 4, so that's nice. You know what, I'm fine with that. That's good. So far I'm actually really pleased with this order. Continuing with Nolan Ryan's, here's his 1976 Topps card, which is decent. Which one would I say on this one? I guess this one is a 4. Not sure why. I mean, it definitely has that the border on the bottom's a little thin, so it definitely has some bottom up top issues. Top left corner's got some issues, and then surface stuff. I don't remember what I was thinking on surfacing. It was 3 months ago. I sent them in the beginning of December, so don't remember. But anyway, let's see how we did. And he gets a 5. So wow, we're really exceeding all the grades so far. Everything's coming in higher for a change. So this must have been a good grader. Here's a Bobby Orr, which I got this one also at that same Livonia card show last fall in October. Sorry, this is OPG, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is the 1970 Bobby Orr O-Pee-Chee Hart Trophy winner card. I had guessed this one is a 5. I thought it looked really good. Obviously, there's centering issues, and I think that was kind of where I downgraded it. Mainly was because of the centering. Otherwise, it was just a beautiful card. So let's see how it did. And it gets a 5. So that's good. Here's 1972 Topps, Reggie Jackson. And I had pre-graded that at a 4. I doubt that. That doesn't look like a 4 to me. I'm guessing more like a 3. And the reason being, the centering's always off on the 72s. It's hard to find any of these things looking good on centering, but the corners look a little bad. The top ones do, especially, and I don't know that you can really see that here, but I don't know. I think it's a rougher card than I thought initially, but again, we said 4. Let's see how we did. Got a 5. I don't think that deserves a 5, especially by current standards. I think it's more of a 4, but whatever. Next, not that I'm sad or displeased that I'm getting higher grades. I'm just surprised with the way that they've been grading everything lately. 1972 Topps. This is the Rookie Stars Red Sox. Carlton Fisk is obviously the player on that card. I had pre-graded this as a 4. Left-right centering issues, but otherwise a nice looking card, and it gets a 5. So that's good. Definitely good. And then, as I've mentioned in a lot of previous videos, I've been working on my LK line run. This card has been one of the hardest cards to find a decent copy of, and this one still is not that great. I may still replace this at some point. Bottom right corners, not that great. It's a high number, so it's expensive, and it's never centered. 72s are really, really tough for me to find good centered copies of things, but this is card number 600, so it's a high number, and so it goes for more money. And I just haven't come across the right one. But this one I had pre-graded as a 4. Mainly, I think I graded it to fill a gap until I find one that I'm happy with, but we'll see how it does. And it gets a 5, so not too bad. I'm okay with that. So next we have up 1962 Topps Warren Spahn. I love this set. This is a really nice looking card. I had guessed this one at a 8. and that was ambitious, but it looked flawless to me, except for, looking at it now, just centering, just everything about this card is just a beautiful card. Hopefully it gets the 8, we'll see, and it gets a 7, which, you know what, that's still good. It's a really, really nice card. It's hard to do this 1962 top set, but looks good. Next is another K-line for the K-line run. This one's the 1974 tops. This one, just looking at it now, it's got left-right issues. I had guessed this one at a 5. We'll see how he does. And he gets a 7. Wow, okay, interesting. I think I've got another one I'll have to check that is a lower grade but looks better than that one, so we'll have to see. Here's Pete Rose from that same 1974 top set, and this one I was guessing was a 4. We'll see how he does. I thought this one was centered decent centering on this one. Corners aren't perfect, but it's still a nice card, and it gets a 5. That deserves a 5. I'm fine with that one. Next up, we have 1954 tops Reno Bitoya. I am not trying to collect the entire 1954 top set, but I am trying to collect the 1954 tops Tigers, and I want to get decent copies of all of them. So I sent in a couple to work on my Tigers team set from 54. Here's Reno Bertoya. I think there should be a couple of him in here. I'm not sure which of the two this is. I guess just 6 on one and a 7 on another. This one, the white ones I think are easier to center because the edges are harder to see, but we'll see. But then they've got, the dirt and grime and stuff also shows up, so it's a trade-off. So this one is either the 6 or the 7, I don't know which. And this one got a 5. Another 1954 tops Tiger. This one is Don Lund. This one I had expected it would come back at a, I don't think that looks like a 7, but I'd put 7. I think it's more like a 4 or a 5. Left corner does not put that in 7 territory, but it's got nice centering, and he gets a 4, which is fine. Here's the other Reno Bertoya. This one I think is the sharper one of the two, looking at it now, and he gets a 5. So we got 2 5s on him. Here is another 54 tops. This is Monty Irvin. Monty Irvin I was grading at a 6. I don't know why, but I think that's much worse. I think that's more like a 4 or 3. That top corner does not look like a 6. We'll see how he does. He gets a 4 miscut. Okay, it's probably got a little bit of a diamond cut on that, but okay, that'll be interesting. So I'll have to look at that closer. 1962 tops Casey Stengel. This is one of 2, and the grades that I had on both those were 7s that I was hoping for. We'll see how they did. I think, they're sharp corners. Left right's a little off, but it's still a nice card. And he gets a 6. First 6. Here's the second of the 2. Sent them both, figured I'd sell one and keep one, whichever one came back looking the best, because they were pretty comparable. Both had decent centering, both had sharp corners, both looked good. And this one gets a 6, so I've got 2 6s. So that's not bad. Here's Hank Aaron's All-Star from 1962. What did I guess on this one? I put a 5 on this one, and to me it looks about a 5, so nice card. We'll see how he does. He gets a 5, so perfect. 1975 tops Mike Schmidt. This one I've graded before a few times, and always kind of looking for a better one and just sell off the one that's worse. This one I was guessing at a 4. We'll see how it does. And it gets a 6. Wow, that's pretty good. Here's the Tommy John rookie from 1964 Topps, and Bob Chance. I think Tommy John is the card on this. I've subsequently gotten some nicer versions of this. The top corner looks a little rounded, top left corner on that, and I had guessed a 3, and that's probably about right. That seems fair, no creases or anything, but it does have some fuzzy corners. 3.5. I guess that could go right there. Is all 3.5s? Oh, that's 2.5s. No 3s, but 3.5s. I feel like they're doing a lot more 0.5 grades lately. Here's Hal Newhouser. 1953 Topps. I guessed a 2 on this one, and mainly because of that bottom corner that's a little rough. There we go. But still a nice card. Kind of wanted to have it in a slab, but it looks like it gets a 3. So that's not bad. I had guessed a 2, I think. Yeah, 2. So that's up a grade. Or yeah. Another 1953 Topps, Johnny Mize. This one I thought was a little better, but I still put a 2 for some reason. Sorry, I'm blocking that. If that one got a 3, I'm hoping this guy gets a 4. We'll see. It's just a nice card. Nothing wrong with it. It gets a 4. Perfect. I'll take that. It's a Carl Brewer rookie card in Parkhurst. And this one is... Okay, so I had guessed a 7 on this one. 1959 Parkhurst. Just looked good. Good player. Not really remembered by anyone, but and he gets a 3. Ooh, okay. Not sure where. Some of these Parkhurst, they've got like surface issues, a lot of them, just because of the texture. They pick up a lot of grime. And I'm guessing that when it otherwise looks good, it's probably a surface thing on those. So I'm probably not seeing it. Here's Tim Horton. Was this 1969, I believe, Topps. And I had guessed on this one. 1969 Topps is one of my least favorite hockey sets. It just, the look of it doesn't really appeal to me that much, but I guess this one is a 5. It just looks sharp. All the corners look good, centering look good. Nice looking card, and it gets a 5. Okay. So far, expectations are definitely being met. This is probably the card I was most excited about in this submission. It's my 1955 Topps Al Kaline, which is a big one for my Kaline run. I think I have all the cards yet now for the Kaline run. I just need to submit a few. But this one I had guessed at a 4. Good centering, nice looking card, but it does have some corner issues. I mean, it's nice white back, and it gets a 4. So that was kind of right where my expectations were on that card. That's still a nice looking card. I'm happy with that. Staying with 1955, here's the Kaline Bowman. And when you do runs, it's usually like Topps or whatever. I still want to collect the other cards as well that are not really considered part of like a Topps run. But here's the 55 Bowman. I thought this one would have earned a 2, mainly because it's got some round corners, especially on the bottom right, and it gets a 1.5 fair. That's okay. I'm not particularly pleased with that one, but can't have them all, right? So Here's one of the later Bobby Orr cards when he was with the Blackhawks, late career, but still nice card. I had guessed on this one. This is 77 Topps, 251, yeah. Or this is O-Pee-Chee, sorry. This is O-Pee-Chee, and I had guessed a 6 on this one. Yeah, let's see what it gets, because the centering looks good to me. It otherwise looks pretty decent, and he gets a 7. I'll take it. And here's more of the 54 Topps Tigers. This is Charlie Kress. I had guessed on this one. I guess one was a 4 and one was a 5. I have two of him. I'm not sure which is which. Just looking at this now, it looks like it's got left-right centering issues, but otherwise looks pretty decent. Yeah, let's see how it does. That one gets a 5. Here's the other one. And this one is better centered, I think, than the other one, but it's kind of diagonal centered. The centering is kind of weird on that one, so that one gets a 5 as well. So that's not bad. 4 and a 5, and I got 2 5s, so that'll work. Money Irvin, 1953 Topps. I guessed a 2 on this one. It's just a nice card. I wanted to get it into a slab. I'm not expecting much from this, but it doesn't have creases. It just has some love on the corners, round corners. And he gets a 2 good. I'm good with that. And another 53 Topps, Pee Wee Reese. And I'm curious on that corner. Do they like fold up the corner on that? This one has rough corners, so I was expecting like a 1 on this, I assume. Yeah, so let's see if we get the 1. And he gets a 2, so that works. I'll take a 2. Okay, next is the 1952 Topps Dizzy Trout of the Detroit Tigers. So it's in decent shape. I guessed a 5 on that. I'm not sure. I mean, looking at it now, I think the top-bottom centering's off. We'll see what he gets. He gets a 4.5. So that's okay. I'll take it. Another K-line for the K-line run. This time, this is in 1966. This is not a great card as far as condition-wise. I don't know. I said a 3, but we'll see how it does. It's a 4. Okay, that works. Here's a 1969 Topps Bernie Parent. Great goaltender from the era. And I had guessed on him. One moment. I guessed a 5 on that one. Yeah, it's a nice looking card. I don't see much right now. This, and looking at it here, I hope it gets better than a 5, because I think it looks better than a 5. Based on how this grader's been doing. And it gets a 6, so that works. I'll take it. Here's just a fun one. This is a 1952 Topps Look and See Edgar Allan Poe. This, I'm not expecting much out of this, like a 3, but it was just a nice... I'm a big fan of Poe, and kind of wanted it for no reason, but see how he does. And Edgar Allan Poe gets a 3. So that's right where our expectations were. And last but not least is a Robin Yount rookie. This one I had guessed from 1975. I had guessed a 6 on this one. And wow, it's got like this big scratch on the case. But aside from the scratch on the case, it's not on the card. It gets a 6. So that's right where we were expecting it. So this grader did, I think, reasonably well. I'm not too hurt by any of the grades, or I don't think that there's anything that was off or beyond expectations with this grader. So I think it's pretty good. We'll have to look forward to the 54s. I'm not gonna make 2 videos on them, and I want to complete the set first, which I'm very close to doing. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I have another channel that I've been posting videos on where I've been posting a lot of live concerts and stuff that I've been attending. There's just like fall concert videos of pretty cool bands playing around Denver. That channel is called Mike's Live Music, no spaces or anything if you want to check it out and watch some music concerts as well. Take a peek at that one. But until the next one, hopefully I don't have anything queued up for grading right now that's at PSA, but I do have a number of cards that I do want to set in. I'm just waiting for the right special, because I don't really like paying full price. I send things in whenever they give us deals on those things. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.